Hi guys, so today's Sunday and I am not home. However, I'm not about to do a live on this one because my confidants are at home and I'm doing this is now my second glass of moringa for the day. All right, this is for somebody who has been inboxing me mostly about my skin. All right, I want you to look at my skin carefully. You'll notice that I have pigmentations, very bad. If you follow me or if you are a subscriber or if you watch my YouTube videos, you will notice that I've got very bad skin. This of which it comes from the sweet tooth that I have. I used to have an extremely sweet tooth, all right? What would happen is, because of the cancer, what cancer does is, cancer calls you to eat sweet stuff. It calls you to eat sugar all the time, all right? So I would eat a lot of sweet stuff. I used to have a tuck shop. I used to steal sweets from the tuck shop. And I used to be in my bedroom and I'd be eating sweets the whole time, right? And so it affected my skin very badly. Also, what had happened was that I wasn't taking a lot of home remedies at the time because I thought I was too smart. And I thought if I die now, I must die the happiest person on earth. So I would just continue eating a whole lot of sweet stuff and would not even bother about my health. What I didn't realize and what I did not actually subconsciously come to terms with was that I was self-sabotaging. All right, now because I've gone through the experience, I can speak about it. So now what I do is I don't eat sweets. I don't take sugar in my tea or my coffee. In fact, I don't even drink tea. I have a cup of rooibos every now and then, but I have moringa and I drink a lot of turmeric with honey. I have moringa. I drink lemon juice with honey because lemon juice and honey give your body antioxidants that your body needs. So first thing in the morning, this is what I have. And I also have moringa. What moringa does for your body, guys, it gives your body a certain amount of energy that you wake up, you find that you don't have energy, you're unenergetic, you're lethargic. It helps with energy. It helps with hair growth. My hair has grown tremendously since I've started taking it more frequently, and since I found that doing it this way, I have it like a tot. Can you see? Just that amount of water and a teaspoon, a full teaspoon, 4 or 5 times a day. I just got off a fast, a 4-day fast of only water, moringa, and turmeric and honey. I was only having that, and this time I had no headaches. All right, I succeeded. When you do it this way, there's nothing left. Okay, so as I was saying about my morning routine this morning, it's very different to what I would usually do because my kids are not with me, and I thank God for the auntie because they're home with her and I get to be here. I'm sorting my car out. I also get a break away because we do need me time, which is very important because you got to get your headspace. You've got to collect yourself and collect your thoughts. It's very, very important to give yourself me time. So the only time that I get me time is when I'm away from the kids, completely disconnected. I speak to them every now and then, which is very important because they need to speak. They need somebody who's an adult to engage with them at all times. And I do understand this, and therefore I speak to each one of them individually on their own. when I'm away. And sometimes it's important to do this as well for growth on both sides, mine and as well as theirs. I believe that's very important because we have to snip the umbilical cord, which is very important. There are times where we don't actually do this and we don't actually take into consideration that being around our kids all the time can lead to separation anxiety when they grow older. And what I've learned from Miles Monroe as he taught on the eagle principles, one of the very important principles is what the mother eagle does when the eaglets are at an older age. What happens is the eagles stay in their nest for many years and they become so dependent on the mother that they actually grow to a stage where they do not want to fly. And I think a lot of us need to realize that we do get to this point in our lives where we do not want to do anything for ourselves. We become so dependent on our parents. And I'm a parent, and I've had parents who I was not dependent on, who I left so that I could grow as an individual. It helped me a lot when I left home because I cut the umbilical cord and I never had separation anxiety. And I'm at a stage right now in my life where I'm teaching my kids how to embrace death. When I leave, I tell them if they call me and should I not answer the call, they must understand that they have to get to a point where they have to accept, at that point where they desperately want to speak to me, they have to accept that I've died. And in doing that, they must cry, they must mourn, and if they need to throw a tantrum or be angry, they know ways and methods of how to be angry and how to express their anger. They know how to express their sadness. They know how to express grief because I've been teaching it to them. And I will not stop at teaching it to them because if you're a parent, you will understand that kids forget very, very easily. They have to be reminded consistently on how to do certain things. And that said, it's very important that we draw away from them, give them time on their own, give them time to build their confidence, give them time to build their individuality and their independence. And the only way to do this is to actually break away from them and give them their space, whether it's a weekend space or a day space or however that works. But for my kids, there are 4 of them and they live together, the 4 of them. And the auntie lives next door, so she assists a lot where she goes in. If they are struggling to cook or if they're struggling with something, then she's there to stand in. But I don't allow her to make up their bed. I don't allow her to pick up their dirty clothes. I do not allow for her to clean up after they use the bathroom or they've bathed or they've dressed themselves and they've left their stuff laying on their clothes. What I strongly believe when kids do stuff like this, when they do not make up their bed and they do not keep their cupboards clean, meaning that their clothes are not folded neatly and their socks are laying all over the show and they do not clean up after themselves when they bath, what I believe that is not taking accountability for their emotions. So when I find that my kids do not make up their bed, don't shake up the sheets, literally shake it up and make up their beds 100% appropriately, then I remind them and I say, you know what, you haven't done this correctly. You're not loving yourself. Come and love yourself. Pick up your clothes. Come and love yourself. Neaten up your clothing cupboards or your shelves, or neaten up the way that your shoes are. You cannot just throw your shoes one on top of the other. They must be packed neatly. And when you start teaching your kids this from a very young age, then as they grow older, they grow with these habits. It becomes a habit. And they learn how to not live in clutter. Because you will understand as an adult, when you live in clutter, it means you have unhealed, unattended to emotions. And that's what leads to all of the clutter. So I've been teaching this to them. And right now, I just want to say, I've got to cut the video. I want to say thank you for staying tuned in. And thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Ciao.